guys, this is Frozen 2 Fan 2004 back here, and I'm here to do a movie review on the highly anticipated Pixar movie, Lightyear. The film stars Chris Evans aka Captain America and tells the origin story of Buzz Lightyear. I don't know how to explain the plot without giving away spoilers, so I'll leave it alone. Ever since the announcement that they were going to make this movie in December 2020, Lightyear has always been my most anticipated Pixar movie. I just love this idea of a Buzz Lightyear spin-off. The animation in the first look looked very stunning, and I knew it was going to be action-packed. I love Pixar movies that are geared more towards adults like Soul and The Incredibles. I remember when we all thought that Lightyear was going to be the first PG-13 movie, but turns out it was rated PG. But I still think it's a little geared for adults due to violence, and Zurg may frighten kids. And Pixar has not released their films in theaters since Onward. I understand why Soul skipped theaters, but Luca could have had a premiere access where they release it in theaters and on Disney Plus for that price at the same time, and Turning Red had no reason to skip theaters, but I'm not mad that it did. I don't take movies skipping theaters way too seriously, unlike other people. After finally returning to seeing a Pixar movie in theaters, I gotta say Lightyear was everything I wanted it to be and more. This is now officially my favorite Pixar film ever made, and I don't get the hate for this film. I've heard a lot of people hate this film because it's woke, it has identity politics, it has that LGBTQ scene, and also the fact that Tim Allen isn't voicing Buzz. But now let's explain how Lightyear is my favorite Pixar film. First of all, this not only has some of the best animation from Pixar, but the best animation I have ever seen since Frozen 2. Frozen 2 still has the best animation ever put to film, but Lightyear is second. The visuals are absolutely incredible, and especially the cinematography. As of now, this has the best visual effects of 2022 until Avatar: The Way of Water comes out this December. It's a shame that this movie didn't play in IMAX in my country. The movie they're playing in IMAX as of now is Jurassic World Dominion. I guess my local cinema just sees Lightyear as an average Pixar film that doesn't need to be seen in IMAX. I didn't even have a good cinema experience, but I'll get to that later. Oh, and I can't forget the action. I love action in movies, besides animation, and if you don't see it as a genre, action is my favorite genre. I go to the cinema to watch action movies, even though I watch other genres. Action is my life alongside animation. We can all agree about the visuals, but how is the story? I know it's not for everyone, but for me, the origin story of Buzz actually worked. But this is more of a character-driven stories, and I like character-driven films because everyone knows characters is my favorite aspect of film. This film is a character study of Buzz Lightyear, and I love the way we learn new things about him. The story has a very relatable message about how mistakes makes you a better person, not a failure. I'm the type of person who sees mistakes as a failure, but this film helped me to realize why mistakes can be important. I also love the concept of time, as whenever Buzz is in space, he lands back in Earth only aging in a few minutes, while everyone back on Earth ages in a few years from when Buzz went into space, since it usually takes years to be in space. It's not a spoiler, it's logic, and this concept reminded me of Interstellar, which still remains my favorite space movie ever. Lightyear would probably be my third favorite space movie. Dune is my second favorite space movie, but maybe in the future, it can become either my second favorite space movie, or maybe even my number one space movie. We'll see. I also love that it doesn't rely on Toy Story nostalgia, but rather it does feel like a standalone movie, although there were a few minor references to Toy Story 2, like they referenced the cone scene, but the cone in Lightyear was more advanced, and Buzz said the line, "Not today, Zurg," from Toy Story 2. It didn't affect the movie at all, as they were just references. But let's talk about the other characters besides Buzz. I want to talk about Zurg first because I think he might be the most underrated Pixar villain ever. Zurg is actually my personal favorite Pixar villain ever, so I'm glad they chose him to be the villain of Lightyear. His design looks absolutely terrifying, but there was actually a plot twist that got my jaw dropping. The plot twist was similar to the one in the Lego Movie 2, but I think it worked better in this one. Sox is a fan favorite character, and I can see why. He's funny, he's adorable, and he's the Pixar version of Baymax. Izzy is one of the best Pixar characters alongside May from Turning Red and Violet from Incredibles 2. May is still my favorite Pixar character. That's one thing Turning Red does better, but Lightyear is the better Pixar movie of 2022. Izzy was originally my favorite Lightyear character, but the more I think about it, she's not. The real standout for me was Mo Morrison. I think you may notice that he looks like a certain character from Frozen 2. That's my main reason, but I just love him for more things than just that. Darby is the weakest character in the film, but I could not get enough of her. A Pixar film wouldn't be complete without emotion, and Lightyear provides emotion on the same levels as Interstellar. Not one of the most emotional Pixar films, but I will say there was one scene in the film that made me really cry, and without spoiling anything, that scene I cried in can be found within the first 30 minutes. I think we can all agree the first 30 minutes was the best part of the film. Alright, now I just want to take a deep dive on why people hate this film and defend it from those criticisms. First of all, recasting Tim Allen as Buzz to Chris Evans is one of the reasons why people hate this movie. Here is why Tim Allen did not voice Buzz. That's because it's not the same Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story films. So Chris Evans voices a different Buzz that isn't a toy. Chris Evans' Buzz is a human. Plus, I bet Tim Allen would be so proud of Chris Evans because he still feels like Buzz Lightyear. Also, how is this movie woke? And how does it have identity politics? Disney did not replace Tim Allen just for the sake of politics, and someone on IMDb said that Lightyear was whitewashed. That is just racist. And another reason why people call the movie woke is because of a black lesbian character named Alicia who has a wife named Kiko. Okay, can people just respect LGBTQ representation in movies for once? I'm getting tired of backlashing LGBTQ representation in movies. So overall, Lightyear is everything I wanted it to be and more. This is my favorite Pixar film of all time, and I will defend this movie no matter what. I give Lightyear a straight 10 out of 10. It's nice to have Pixar finally come back in theaters, but sadly, I did not have a good cinema experience, as I will explain my bad cinema experience shortly since I don't want to take too long here. So here is what happened. I was going to a showing at 3:55 p.m. but then I was late since I had to go somewhere more important, but then the mall I went to was so big and I couldn't find the cinema. So I found out there was another screening at 4:30 p.m. in a different mall, and I just run for it. I was able to buy my tickets last minute, and I ran inside the cinema where they showed the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. After the trailer ended, I went out to buy my popcorn, and then I came back missing the opening logos. The actual screen was huge, but then the screen for the movie was cropped, and it wasn't even a Dolby Atmos theater, which sucks because I love loud sounds in theater. The louder sound in your theater, the better experience you have. And then you have this guy a couple of rows behind me flashing his phone light at me several times, which is annoying. And then his phone started ringing. But that bad cinema experience didn't stop me from being in love with this film and leaving me on the edge of my seat. I may see this movie for a second time, but we'll see. So, that is the end for my review of Lightyear. If you have seen the movie, what is your opinion on it? And if you haven't seen it yet, are you excited for it? Comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for my review on Luca. Bye guys.